Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice for Radio. So today, I am here to tell you that amazing rare Pokemon are back. We thought amazing rare Pokemon were done. Amazing rare Pokemon came out in Legendary Beat over in Japan. That was their Sword and Shield 3A set. And then they were not in the next set. We got these lovely amazing rares like Jirachi is probably the best one of them. And then we got another Japanese set. We got Astonishing Volt Tackle, and there were no amazing rares. So everybody went, oh, well, amazing rares, they must have just been a one-set thing. They must have been there for Legendary Beat, and that's it, and we're not getting any more. Oh, no, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no, that ain't true. Because now in Sword and Shield 4A, that is to say Shiny Star V, we're getting more amazing rare Pokemon. Does this mean that in the main sets, we're not going to be getting amazing rares? But in the A sets, we are? Quite possibly. Which, for us, will mean we'll get them in every set. Because these are in Sword and Shield 4A in Japan, so they're almost certainly going to be in Sword and Shield 5 over here. And Vivid Voltage is our Sword and Shield 4, which is giving us the first lot of amazing rares. So it seems like amazing rares are here to stay. And that makes me pretty gosh darned happy. And we're going to start off with the amazing rares today talking about Kyogre, because Kyogre is Archie's spirit Pokemon. I called my son Archie. Who else is his spirit Pokemon going to be? And I quite like this Kyogre, so we're going to have a chat about it. Remember the deal with amazing rares, they basically have super awkward attack costs, but really good attacks if you can get around the super awkward attack cost. So Kyogre here has 120 HP, which is quite nice for a basic Pokemon, but remember there's a lot of things out there that do 120 damage. For some reason, the only one springing to mind at the moment is Silvally, and to be fair, that is seeing a bit of play here and there. But I'd much rather have 130. Oh, Excadrill! Excadrill does 120, and I play that constantly. Although I'm always playing stuff like Martial Arts Dojo, so I'm very rarely actually doing 120. It's not the point. Retreat cost of 3 is really annoying because Air Balloon will not give you free retreat, but you don't have a high enough HP to use buff padding. But then again, you do have Cape of Toughness, which is the same as buff padding, but you can use it with this, so yay! More HP. Weakness to lightning, not good. Pikachu and Zekrom have seen a bit of a resurgence lately. People are playing that. And don't forget the, well, Pikachu VMAX. Might be good, might not be good, but a lot of people are going to be trying it in the meantime, so no. As for being a water Pokemon, you are hitting weakness against all of those fire Pokemon, like Centiskorch, for instance, which is quite nice. And it means you got Frostmoth to accelerate water energy, which is quite nice. And then you got all kinds of stuff like Capacious Bucket to search out your energy, which, as you may have guessed, is quite nice. But what does it do? Well, it's got one attack for a water, a lightning, a metal, and a colorless energy. I told you they're awkward attack costs. And it does 80 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Shout out to the lovely Antoine Boulet for the translation. And the thing is, this is a phenomenal attack. 80 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon is a flat-out, unashamed, redonkulous, phenomenal attack. For an absolutely horrific attack cost. It's payable, and I'm going to go through the ways like we always do with these amazing rares that you can pay the attack cost, and this is one of the more payable ones, but it is still pretty horrendous. We'll get to the attack cost in a minute. Let's talk about the attack and the damage that we're doing. I love it. I absolutely love it. Because 80 damage is great. Jirachi sees a huge amount of play as a support Pokemon. Oh, how much HP does Jirachi have? 80. Ha! So Jirachi goes down in a single hit, and that's quite lovely. We see that an awful lot of people out there are playing Galarian Zigzagoon. Certainly in Eternatus decks, you can expect a couple of these to be going down. They all get KO'd in one go. We see Spiritomb is still a trendy Pokemon, both as a deck in and of itself and in the aforementioned Eternatus decks, and they will all go down. Stuff like Cinccino's really good, and okay, Cinccino won't go down because Cinccino has 90 HP, not 80, but then again, all you need is to play your own Galarian Zigzagoon, or use a Roxy while discarding one Weezing, for instance. And then you're doing 10 damage to everything, and then you will be getting a nice, easy one-hit KO on all of them. Your opponent's got free Cinccino down, you take free prizes. This wrecks support Pokemon. And what if your opponent's playing an evolution deck? What if your opponent is playing a Frostmoth deck? They're going to be playing Snom. Snom's got 50 HP. If you get Kyogre powered up before your opponent evolves into Frostmoth, your opponent will never get a Frostmoth up. Even if they do, remember it's got 90 HP, so you ping 10 damage and you're good. This is a phenomenal attack. If you get this attack off twice, Dedene's on the bench will be KO'd in addition to everything else. 160 will get pretty much any single prize Pokemon plus Dedenne. And you can be pinging as well, so stuff like Crobat isn't really safe. If you can attack twice with Kyogre, you're probably going to wreck the board, sweep the board, clear the board, use whatever phrase you like, and you're probably going to win the game. It is a phenomenal attack. Bearing in mind, I mean, we could compare this to a Lowland Sandslash. A Lowland Sandslash has a once per game attack. Only, you can only use one GX attack in the entire game. And for free energy, it does 100 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon with damage counters on. Okay, this is 20 damage less, but it also works for any Pokemon, whether they've got damage counters on or not, and it's not limited to once during your game. And I suppose at this stage we should probably have a quick cheeky mention about Telescopic Sight. Yeah. It's another one of those cards that they translated and... No, Longview Scope was awesome. Telescopic Sight, don't like it as much. But it means that any attacks that hit the bench do 30 more to Pokemon Vs and GXs on the bench. So now you're doing 110 to those bench Pokemon rather than 80, which is ridiculous. This is, and I've said it a couple times, I'm going to say it one more time, this is a phenomenal attack. And seriously, the second you get the energy on Kyogre, your opponent has got to one-hit it or they're going to lose. So how do you get the energy on? And the answer is, it's not as difficult as you might think. Now, we've got some general amazing rare stuff. You've got Turbo Patch here. Flip a coin if heads, attach an energy from your discard to one of your basic non-GX Pokemon. Has to be a basic energy, but that's still fine. So that'll work. Or if you want to go special energy, you've got Porygon Z, which can attach as much special energy during your turn as you like. And stuff like Aurora energy will be key here. So that's kind of lovely. And we've got some specific options. Now, for the water and the colorless, you can use Frostmoth yourself. That'll get the 2 energy on. For the lightning energy, we've got Tapu Koko and its rather lovely ability, which lets you attach 1 lightning energy from your discard to each of 2 bench Pokemon. So get 2 Kyogre on the bench and Tapu Koko onto each of them, and then Frostmoth, and then you've just got your metal energy. But the thing about your metal energy is, if you're using Frostmoth to attach water energy, your metal energy can be your energy for the turn. By the way, at this stage, you want to go second and you want to be playing Energy Spinner. Because Energy Spinner will search out your, 2 lightning and 1 metal, and then you discard the 2 lightning ready for Tapu Koko, might I suggest Quick Ball, and then you've got Capacious Bucket, and once you get Frostmoth up, this could legitimately work. Essentially, you've got to use Frostmoth, I think, and then you've got Tapu Koko, you've got your metal energy you attach for the turn, and then you've got probably Turbo Patch in reserve. It's quite a lot. It's quite awkward. It's asking a fair bit. But this attack is phenomenal. Now, don't get me wrong. There will be some decks that, set up and they've only got big Pokemon out. But unless they play something like Heat Fire Energy, you are getting a 2-hit KO on Centre Scorch here. And you're 2-hit KOing the Dene on the bench, and probably Crobat, because you're probably going to use Telescopic Sight. Or just ping with something else. And you're 2-hit KOing basically any single prize Pokemon, and you're taking out their support Pokemon, and I really like this. Plus, if you're playing a Frostmoth deck, just play another attacker. There, done. Now, I probably should at least acknowledge Trumbeak very quickly here. We're not going to talk too much about it. It's got the ability whereby when you evolve up into it, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and any basic energy can be attached to your Pokemon. It's a cool ability, it's one I'm a big fan of. The problem is, you're so tight in these amazing rare decks that it's not guaranteed. And you can use Oranguru to make sure you got a card on top of your deck, and you can use Scoop Up Net to reuse it and all of that. But I just worry it's going to be a little bit too awkward and take up a little bit too much room in your deck. But we should acknowledge it as an option. Personally, I am better with stuff like Frostmoth and Tapu Koko, and I think we can do better, frankly. I love this Kyogre, and maybe it's going to end up being too awkward. Maybe it's not actually as easy to pay as I'm imagining it is in my head right now. Maybe I'm looking at it and remembering it as Baby Archie Spirit Pokemon, and that is giving me an overinflated view of how good it might be, and I don't care. This has jumped right to the top of my list of decks that I want to be testing when Sword and Shield 5 comes out. Although, to be fair, we've not seen much from Sword and Shield 5. I love this because it's Archie Spirit Pokemon, but I love this attack. And I think between Frostmoth, Tapu Koko, you should be able to pay it. I know, I'm a little bit in love, ladies and gentlemen. I'm giving this between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. And you know what? That's probably overly generous, and I don't even care. This is a deck that I am psyched about testing, and the fact of the matter is, I play an awful lot of Pokemon, and I know how often using this attack would destroy my opponent's board or get me multiple prizes, and that makes me super happy indeed. But I'd like to know what you think, so let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.